Okay.
All right. Welcome to Good Mythical MORE. Trevor, welcome to the hangout, buddy.
Hello.
All right, Rhett, if you were correct in choosing Tails, that means I have to text Mythical Chef Josh, hey, man, how much are you lifting these days? Which he doesn't know we're going to be texting him, whoever loses. So tell me, what is it?
Here it is. Oh, it's heads.
Did you change it?
No, it came off. I would have changed it for me to win, not to lose.
Yeah,
it's
true.
heads. Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to text Josh here. Oh, gosh.
So, Trevor, I don't know how often you text Josh, but we don't do that.
You don't do that?
We do
I text
not
him every
do
once in
that.
a while. Usually just checking up, making sure, he's eating his vegetables and stuff.
Over this quarantine, you're like, you're mothering him?
Yeah, a little bit. He's asked me for a lot of video gaming tips. I think he's trying to fill his time with things, so he's asked me to help him with Skyrim. He's been playing a lot of Skyrim.
Skyrim. What are you playing these days?
What am I playing? Oh, shoot. Everything. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends, a lot of Valorant.
What about that keyboard behind you there? You been doing some musical stuff? You holding back on us?
Yeah, no, I have been. I've been finally, gotten motivated to practice playing piano again. So
all right, let's hear something.
Right now? Oh gosh. That's a lot of pressure.
Give us a little Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham? I wish I was as good as Bo Burnham. All I know are sad songs, and I don't want to make you guys sad, so.
Okay, then we won't play sad songs. Now, first of all, Josh is responding to me, and Josh does not, I don't think Josh knows my number because he's not in my contacts because I always contact him through Slack or email.
Okay.
So I got the 3 dots going. There's a response coming back to, hey man, how much you lifting these days?
So he doesn't know it's you. All right, so we're going to play a game until, hold on reading that.
He didn't respond. He did the 3 dots and then he lost heart.
Just put in parentheses, this is Rhett.
I want.
What if I just texted him and said, respond to the text? Just real vague like, so that he...
Okay, let's try that.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
So we're going to play, just for those of you who are still interested, we're going to play 2 ridiculous truths and 1 ridiculous lie because, this is more ridiculousness after watching the How Ridiculous. That is the name of their channel, right? I just had a brain fart.
It's called How Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I said. How Ridiculous.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to read you again 2 ridiculous truths and 1 ridiculous lie.
In that order? Okay, yeah, that's helpful.
And you guess which one is the ridiculous lie. Which, by the way, as I'm sure you found, this is a very difficult game to play with you, Link, considering that you were there for most of the ridiculous things, or I have told the ridiculous story of my ridiculous thing.
In my presence, yeah.
Okay. When I was a kid, I had a tree in the woods that I would talk to, but I would only talk to that particular tree about the girls I had crushes on.
So it was a love life tree confessional.
Here's the second one. I once took a crap while on a conference call. And
That's timely.
number 3, sometimes when I'm outside and totally alone, I'll pull down my pants to let the sun shine on my butt because it feels so good. Although I do worry that someone is watching me from a satellite.
Now, I know this man way too well. But I will say that these are not obvious to me. But that being said, Trevor, I'm going to let you verbally process these.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I am at a bit of a disadvantage because you two do know each other so well. But I really want the first and the last one to be true just for my own personal satisfaction. That's what I'm hoping for. And so in that, I think I'm going to have to say that I don't think you've pooped on a conference call. I'm hoping that you haven't pooped on a conference call. Because I think the other ones are funnier and I want them to be true.
But the thing about pooping on a conference call is if you do it right, the risk is low. I mean, if you just turn your video off and you turn your audio off. I mean, I know a lot of people are proving now.
And I didn't say
difficult.
say video conference. I didn't say video conference. I just said because I just said conference call. It could also have just been a phone call. That is up for grabs as well.
I mean, if you're willing to mute a phone call and talk trash about the people on the call, and I'm not saying that you do that, but I'm saying that everyone, there's a time when you feel motivated that you just absolutely have to do it. You have to turn to somebody in the room and talk a little trash about someone on the call, and you mute it. That's just as risky, if not more risky. You could get fired over that, depending on where you work. But crapping while on a call, you're not going to get fired over that if there's no video involved. If there's just some grunting and plopping, you're not going to get fired.
It depends on who you work for.
I mean, we wouldn't fire him. We would applaud it.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your guess? Are you agreeing with Trevor?
I think that one's so easy. The last one, but pulling down your pants to get sunshine on your butt cheeks, that's just... If that's true, you better tell me a specific example of that. I know we went camping that one time with Mike, and we got naked at the top of this like mountain and jumped in this icy cold lake, and then we like bathed in the sun on a rock in the middle of the lake. And I think the rock was small, so I think we took turns. And if that's what you're referring to, that seems a little bit different than this. So I'm saying that one's the lie, man. You've crapped on a conference call.
Okay, it is true that I had a tree in the woods that I would talk to, but I would only talk to that particular tree about the girls I had crushes on.
What, did you call it something?
No, but I actually, the last time I talked to that tree was when I had decided that I was going to marry Jessie. I'm not kidding. So it's still like 20 years ago, but like...
That's so sweet.
So
and I haven't talked to the tree since.
You were a grown-ass college student, and you walked out into the woods and talked to a tree?
Yeah, man.
That's the best thing ever. I love that.
See, Trevor appreciates this.
Yeah.
Trevor, you look like you're about to crap on this conference call. Why are you pulling your knees out like that?
Because it's kind of cold in my room and I'm trying to get cozy. I'm sorry.
It's getting cold. You're about to go out there and play some sad songs. What kind of sad songs do you play back there?
A lot of Ed Sheeran, a lot of One Direction, just the usual stuff.
Yeah, we get copyright strikes if you started doing that.
Yeah, I won't.
It is true that sometimes when I'm outside and totally alone, I'll pull down my pants to let the sun shine on my butt because it feels so good. Although I do worry that someone is watching me from a satellite.
You get some on the front?
Oh,
yeah, sometimes, but usually the butt. Now, and I do this at my own home.
No, that's a dub. That's a dub right there. I'm so happy.
Here's the thing.
I don't even know what a dub is. What's a dub?
There's a win, a W.
A win.
So I don't do it often, but I do. A couple times a year at least, and I would highly recommend it. And there's a very funny TikTok of a guy explaining, which is not why I'm doing it. He actually, there's a TikTok where he's explaining why he tans his butthole. I'm not tanning my butthole. That's not what I'm doing. I just like the feeling of sun on my bum.
Oh my God.
Now, I get naked and jump in my pool, but you're just talking about pulling your pants down a little bit and then pulling them back up.
Not really. I'm talking about pulling my pants
off,
down, and like sunbathing naked.
But they're around your ankles?
Well, I mean, sometimes they might be off. Sometimes they might be down.
It's better if they're off.
Yeah.
If they're around your ankles, that's just plain weird. And if they're just below your butt cheeks, I was picturing you just like outside with your belt just below your butt cheeks.
Just mooning the world.
Yeah, just mooning.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll do that next time. I have never taken a crap on a conference call, but I've gotten very close and I've thought about it. All right,
Trevor.
We need to move on. Here, Trevor.
Okay. So the first one is that I was at a music show in downtown LA and saw a person turkey-based White Claw directly into their butt. The second is that I was attacked by a deer outside my house back when I was living in Idaho, and the deer stole my lunch.
Oh my gosh, these are both great.
The final one is that I made out with and went on a couple of dates, I guess, with a witch, like a literal witch, like she casts spells. So,
Okay,
She
well,
cast spells, like a love
because-
spell?
because you're in Los Angeles, there's no doubt you've dated a witch. Now, the deer thing, that is...
I've seen a deer attack someone on a viral video, but after a deer attacks, like the front legs come up and do this. I don't know how they do this and then turn and grab a lunch and run off.
it would with the mouth, you know, it's like snatched it up off the ground because I was very flustered.
You don't know.
Dropped it.
You weren't there. This is a lie.
This isn't a lie.
What was the first one?
First one was White Claw.
White Claw.
Turkey baster?
White Claw with a turkey baster.
Directly into the butt?
You
Yeah.
probably saw that. You probably saw that. Again, and if that's a crazy thing to make up. I mean,
I'm going to pick
making
the
up the deer
least
thing.
crazy one. He hasn't dated a witch.
I'm going with the deer. Deer is a lie.
Okay. So I did see someone at a music show in downtown LA turkey base White Claw into their butt, and I did date a witch.
Yes.
Yes. Did not steal my lunch or attack me.
Yeah, there were holes in that story. Shoot. I can't even remember if I got it right. I'm just...
No, you didn't, but I did. I just texted Josh. I saw you starting to respond, and it didn't text anything else. Still has not responded to me.
Say this is red. We got to get some response.
Well, then he'll
We
know
gotta
it's a
know how
joke.
much he's lifting.
I don't want him to know it's a joke.
All right, I wrote down my truth and a lie. I love mushrooms on my salad. I've never pulled a tooth. And one time I stole a Nesquik from a convenience store.
Oh, very short.
Yeah.
Okay, so say those again.
I've never pulled a tooth. One time I stole a Nesquik from a convenience store. I love mushrooms on my salad.
Okay, there's no doubt that. Well, actually, you know what? Trevor, you go first because I know him too well.
Dang it. Oh, I was ready to get some hints. I don't know your opinion on mushrooms. I feel like it's a weird thing to go on salad, but it doesn't seem that unlikely. I've been in a place where I've wanted chocolate milk that bad, so like I get it. If that's true.
Thank you.
Never pulling a tooth, that doesn't seem like something that's that unlikely. Like I could just see like some kids don't want to pull teeth and they just wait for them to fall out. I don't know. I think it's the mushrooms on the salad. I don't think you like mushrooms on salad. It's kind of bizarre.
Okay, there's absolutely no doubt that the tooth pulling thing is true in my mind. You've never told me this, but I know how you think about things, and knowing that you would get queasy doing it makes me think you've never done it. You have stolen something from a convenience store before, but I don't think it was Nesquik. But surely you didn't do the classic thing where you tell a thing that's true and then change one detail to make it a lie, because that's cheating in two truths and a lie. So I doubt you did that. But you do like uncooked mushrooms and not cooked mushrooms, if I remember correctly. So maybe you did break the rule of two truths and a lie and change one detail about what you stole. So I'm going to go with that. Your lie is stealing Nesquik from a convenience store because it was actually something else.
It is true. I have never pulled a tooth from my mouth or anyone else's. My Aunt Vicky would pull my teeth. She'd wrap a Kleenex around it and she'd pull it out because she was a lunch lady. Lando, since we've been in quarantine, Lando has lost 4 teeth. And I got video of him pulling his last tooth. I don't know if he'd want me to share that because he was so scared, and then just like he was more afraid after it was out than when he was pulling it. It was so weird. But I was like, I feel you, man. It's scary to pull a tooth. It is also true that I love mushrooms on my salad. And I didn't know if you would know that, since you guys know that I'm so picky, but like a raw mushroom, sliced, I like a good, what, Trevor, what's that white mushroom that you slice and put on salads?
White mushroom.
What?
White mushrooms or baby bellas.
Yeah, I like those, man, on a salad. I don't like cooked mushrooms.
That's ridiculous, man.
That is
It was hard to come up with something. I've never stolen a Nesquik, but I wasn't cheating because I hadn't thought that I had stolen anything from a convenience store. I think David Buss tried to get me to steal something from a convenience store, but I didn't do it. I stole either a rock or a seed from a hardware store. My granddad made me return it. But I would totally steal a Nesquik from a convenience store if the timing was right.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Well, so, I got it right. Josh has not responded to me. I'm going to call him.
Wait, so did we all win one?
We all won one, which means we have to endure Rhett calling Josh.
He's not going to answer. I wouldn't either. Wonder what kind of voicemail he's got.
Please leave your message for me.
He disguised his voice for his voicemail.
He's probably working out right now.
Hey, bro. How much you lifting these days? I'm interested. Why aren't you answering me? I need to know how much you're lifting these days. Because I want to know if you're lifting more than me. And I don't mean the amount. I mean, how often? How often are you lifting these days? Maybe I should have said that. Maybe I put you on the spot. Maybe you thought I was asking how many pounds are you lifting in one lift, but I didn't specify which lift. So what I'm saying is, how often are you working out? I want to know who is doing it more, me or you. Call me back. Thanks, bro.
All right, Trevor, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. This was fun.
Grab a proud Mythical Beast tee and bumper sticker, only available for 48 hours at mythical.com. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Los Angeles LGBT Center.